Right, now we've got the names. I'm George, as you can probably tell. Now I like not so much names, but I like to know the folk I'm dealing with. So have we got any school teachers here? Thanks.
Thanks.
Part-time.
Historians,
A little bit.
engineers. Thanks. Anybody got a name?
X.
Right, we'll try and make it interesting for everybody. First thing is a little bit of safety. Or stand on granite, it's hard, so don't fall on it and break your teeth. The other one is don't stand on the brass, because Dean's hard, he'll break your teeth. No, he wouldn't, he's a nice guy. But as you can imagine, if we've got 4 days, 100 people a day, when they get thick in, we don't ask you not to stand. No problem standing here. So they would do that.
That's the case, so.
And then that's what they're filled with concrete. You can see a crane, exactly the same thing. The castellation's on the bottom, part of the final drive, it's a rapid pinion gearbox. So when we go next door, you can see the big cog that fits in. Under the road, you've got what they call a centre press. It's a trough, might be as big as this, I've never bothered to measure it. And on the main gird of the bridge itself, there's a foot that fits inside of this circular board form, of a better way of putting it. Various packings around it to keep the water in. That's about 1.5 inches deep, and that supports 900 tonne of the bridge. So we take water and pump it at 600 pound a square inch or thereabouts into this centre press. And it takes, like I say, 900 tonne. It reduces the friction, it also reduces the weight on the rollers. The rollers, 3 foot and down that, 2 foot across. At the minute, the bridge is at rest, excuse me, about 5 tonne on each roller. When we're swinging, about 8 tonne. The red framework is purely and simply to keep the rollers on the trot path, on the path that it runs round. In essence, it's just a massive roller bearing, same as what you've got in a bicycle or anything like that. If we're to go under the road, which we're not going to do, there's a massive angle bar which terminate around the foot of the centre press. So as the rollers turn, the bridge actually turns faster in the middle of it. We know this because we had a job in there 2 or 3 years ago. We had to rely on plywood, and watch, listen. I thought something was going wrong in there. And what happened was, your eye says the bridge doesn't move. Oh yeah, it's a bridge. So you end up going backwards. When you fix your eye on something other than the bridge, you see that you're going around the opposite way to what you were thinking, right? Which is the same direction as the bridge. But the bridge is going around faster. And of course, you had to lie on something because otherwise you'd be trying to hurdle over the angle bar which is coming around and dodge down below the main beams, which are into this tank. We'll then go from there into the pump, down to the bottom of the accumulator and lift the accumulator. And all that does is store water power. So, before we go next door, we'll set the thing away. When you're watching down there, also have a look, you'll see that this is a chain driven switch. So as the accumulator comes up, it will turn that shaft, which turns another shaft in here and moves an arm. So that when it gets to the top of its stroke, it switches off. This brass thing might tell you, if we have a problem and the bridge doesn't turn anymore, we come scuttling down from up in the tower. And if we're anywhere near the centre, I can't get another ladder. And I'm one of these people who like feet on the floor because I don't have wings. I don't like feet up ahead. So I come scuttling in here. I'm full of panic to start with. So I have to come down the ladder. I look at that. If it's where it is, I've got water, which causes more problems. Then I've got to start figuring out why, when it's got water, does it stop. If I'm really lucky, there's no water in, it's right at the top. That light's on, and these lights are all off. Somebody's cut my cable. I don't mind that. It's not my fault. But otherwise, what I would do would just be go next door, change the engines over, and then hopefully go back up the ladder and put the bridge back to bed. The criteria for putting the bridge to bed, you've got two ways of doing it really. Either line the fixed span and the moving span up, or use the handrails. But you'd never use these two. That one there, or that one there, because one of the two is bent. The best you got its nose underneath before I started, I'm not to blame on it. And we're going to rise and tide so it started to lift. So you had three things could happen. Either the vessel would damage itself or sink, or it could rise the bridge off its foot. As it was, it just bent the footpath. So, like I say, if you line carpenters are there, they're putting anybody wants some wood. That's what they're doing. They're putting new decking down. So they're bringing loads of timber on. I'm going to bend his ear when he comes back. Give us a clue. I've lost myself.
Bent the bridge.
Oh yes. So if you use one of these two handrails, one of them will put that one right and the rest one. So it's easier to either use those two or the fixed span. One little problem, you've got no brakes. So it's a little bit of experience as much as anything else. Does everybody here drive?
Yeah.
So when was the last time one of you took your car and put the car in the garage and went out into the back door and you missed it? No. You all, get used to your vehicle, same here. We start off full power, line up either the Tyne Bridge Tower or the high level. Then you knock the juice off. If you're really lucky, you drop in the centre. Vessels can get through. If you're not lucky, it overshoots. If anything other than overshooting, you can give it a nudge and just bring it around. The vessels will get on now, not really a problem. But as you're reading that, one of the vessels that came through had 2 foot either side, so we had to be accurate. What happened was in 1963 they decided they would take the timber deck off that we had and put an aluminium deck on. Where you think we are turning, the bridge is flexing, tarmac wasn't what it is today, popped off, couldn't keep the road on. Of course, 63 you were starting to get quite a bit of vehicular traffic, and that wasn't just the old horse and cart. So they got Blythe Shipyard to build this aluminium deck. And when you go through, if you look up, you'll see the corrugation. And the road more or less stops where it should, So that was the first one. I can't think of many other things that they've done really. Everything's more or less original, apart from the deck and the electricity. It's from 1876. Doesn't include super grand jumping off the bridge or anything like that. Get caught around 55 degrees north and I can't think of how many other things have been done. But for vessels that paid, the number of swings was 288,116. The vessels was 453,649. And I'm waiting for this 49, the odd one coming back. Because what's happening? And the other thing was the tonnage, the total tonnage that went through was 267,147,681. And that mightn't seem very relevant. But when you think that that's how the port at time charges how people come through the bridge on a commercial base, because what happens is you pay so much a ton. I mean, obviously, the likes of the ferry, they've got a fixed price. I think it's £200 what they do, up and down. But I've only seen books for 1937, and there it was £4 a ton for racks, 15 shillings a ton for dynamite, or for explosives. You know, I mean, when you think about it, it wouldn't take many tons to make a bloke's wages up, would it? In 1937, what was it? Oh. What was a guy on? £5. You accumulate that up.
Right down there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What size?
Is it coming up next?
Eating movements.
Mark on the wall, that's one of the wedges that the bridge sits on. There's one at each corner. In front of that, you've got a jack. So at the minute, the jack's up, and the wedge is in place. That holds the bridge where it should be. When we're going to swing, send the jack down, lifts the end of the bridge about 3 inches. Pull the wedge out, it's a single axle cylinder. We've got another chip that gets going along, pull it back in, in the tower.
Aye.
If you look above your head, you'll see the complicated line.
All the pollution. All the pollution. So the accumulator, does the glands, do they leak?
Frequently,
Because
severely.
I worked at Vickers and they used to have water-powered presses and a heap of bother, like keeping them right.
They were the words that come to mind. Did you know Bill Stewart?
No,
He was a singer.
no.
Lived in Bathurst. Of one of the pillars, and you've got another 2 of those,
Oh, right.
10 foot wider again. So you can imagine how narrow that channel was if you go below the water line.
So,
The other one, of course, is you're not going to get a better view of the castle and keep from top here.
is that the title of it?
Come on,
Gandalf.
stand down.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Get on out.
It's got massive.
So you now got your left hand up, but you go down to the right feet.
Oh,
No, okay, the press your favour. Doesn't take a lot of doing.
Why have you got it painted red and white, Macam colour?
Got red and white,
What colour is it?
brown.
It's brownie, brownie
I'm
red.
colour-blind in red and white. Keep going.
Keep going, right?
Just remember, this is a
What's
working
what
area.
you're doing?
It's not a place that's been spruced up. It's still scruffy. What looks dirty or looks like grease, it is.
Look at that.
there's a tin of grease.
Very old caravan, using that really caravan.
Well, on your sandwiches.
Right, first things first, a little bit more safety. We had a lady come down here one day and decided to go like that.
Oh.
Oh, that's shiny. So anyway, that was all right. I mean, we could do it all the time. If anybody gets dirt on their hands, just come and see us. I'll give you a proper cloth. You'll have a nice orange smell, and it'll get all the muck off. That's what we do. No, that it's a little towel. So anyway, if you look at his dirty hand, you know, if you look at it, it's very, very sticky.
Yeah.
And I said to her, oh, it's all right. Just like I said to you, we'll sort it out. But of course, she couldn't wait, so she said, it's all right, it's all that. And she went, can't do clothes.
Did you often work it off then?
She had to wake it off herself. I wasn't going to take the chance. Anyway, I don't know if any of you have heard this runs in a cup of water, which is honestly a load of rubbish. Might be near a 50-gallon now. Just for a cup of water, maybe when it was new. Where that story would come from, you all know oil and water is slippy. So we use tallow, cotton, greasy pattern, right? Horrible stuff.
What are they called?
Just really cotton with tallow on.
Tallow.
Coarse, horrible grease.
Candles. Yes.
So anyway, put it on a turn, it gets hard. Because as daft as it might sound with water being there, it heats up. So it becomes brittle. Water, like I say, water and grease, also gives lubrication. So that's why we've got these little leaks. The other one is, this place is that old. If I start pulling everything down for a little leak, I end up smashing the pipe. Can I get replacement pipes? What happens is they go out and tighten up. One of the lads gets a brass welding gear out, raises it up, but it leaves little rags inside. Because this stuff, when it's breaking up, goes into the pipework, goes into the tank next door, and eventually it could come into there if it gets in the wrong place. It doesn't work anymore. And of course, when you look around, it's that simple, this place, where you start with. I had a problem one day. The last jumped on the bridge at the wrong time. I back used to pull in the reverse, which isn't a good idea because you know this stuff's very low. Couldn't get the engine to work, so didn't know what to do. I changed engines. I tried several times to get it running. Not it would turn, no power. So I pulled the slide valve down, which is this, and inside all you've got like 2 horseshoes and a fixed plate. So the horseshoes move about on this fixed plate. There's nothing to see. Stripped it down, put it back together. Same with that one, same with that one. Went up and stripped the spare down, still couldn't see anything. So I went on to the second prayer mat of the fifth. Is 3 cylinders, 3 rams. There's no pistons in here. It's not like a car, but a motorbike. I'm just thinking, you know,
Because you have pistons in the steam engines. Yeah.
oh, you want the steam engines, eh?
Well, really.
You never know.
I pick the things up and rubbed off, isn't it? Be the both of them. Yeah.
So anyway, we'll pretend, because I never know which way this is going to turn when I do the demonstration. But we'll pretend, for the sake of ease, the one nearest to me is powered. That's the one that's pushing. So obviously it's pushing the far one in. So the water comes in from the accumulator into here. The way that it's set up, it goes up there and pushes on the end of the ram, which is pushing that one in. So the water's going back down, back into the casting, along the back of the blue tank next door. Yeah. Doesn't matter which way we go, it's only going to go up or down. Till that one comes into play and it starts to exhaust. No, I don't know, did I tell you that we always turn anti-clockwise?
Yeah.
Excuse me, when you're always right.
I mean, you did say you went anti-clock. You didn't realise it was going, but it goes anti-clockwise the same way as the bridge, didn't you? No.
Clockwise. No, the bridge goes anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise.
So vessels come up on the Newcastle side down on the Gateshead side. Now they went to till late, so till I started off which way it goes. Right, what I ask is, you get toes and fingers, yeah? Is the barbie come to the vessel, or I'm keeping them? The other thing, remember I told you it's made up of greasy packing. Sometimes this greasy packing just ought to come in, get a check of water. So if anybody gets damp, everybody clear?
Yeah.
The water just about hits that window. I've got to be honest, that's an awful lot louder than when it's in here. I can talk quite easily over the top. 2 gears, high, no speed. If I'm turning the bridge, you know, sitting waiting to go home with your dinner, you don't want to be hanging about. By the same token, if we go down the river and you're going to sea, time is money. So we're always in high speed. It's just a case of gauging when to chop, you know, turn it up and when to turn it down. If you think you're slowing down too quick, you can give it a kick. And it's anybody here can drive the bridge. You know, our marketing company does this, I don't know what it is, whether it's a phone-in, but you can bid on how much you're prepared to pay. So now I'll get a phone call, such and such is coming down the party, whatever. Keep trying. Sorry about it. There you go. Never mind. I don't love it. I mean, we didn't know what started at 12 and I got in there 20 past 12. 2 runs. So the first ones are okay because they get to go over run. The second ones are late. The clap valve. That brass thing.
What's that do?
That keeps the water from up in the tower when we're turning. When we get to the right place, in that black trough, it lifts that wheel and the water comes. Because otherwise, we either in this place flooded with water, or the water you'll see it dripping on the road when we've done a swim. You know? Just a little word of warning. I'm not 100% sure at the minute, but it was programmed to do a swing tomorrow morning at 10:07, which will go with traffic. I'm hoping it doesn't because I didn't want to come at 6 o'clock to prepare this place. But the next one after that is 5:15 on the 19th of September. So anybody want to see it swing. The other thing is, of course, just go on to YouTube, type in Newcastle swing bridge. There's good stuff on it.
So you don't swing very much now at all?
Are visitors allowed down here when it's swinging?
You're allowed down there, not allowed down here. Because some time ago I had the factory inspector come in and he says that's not God.
Yes.
No. But I says, why do I need it God? And he says, well, what happens if somebody puts a hand in? He says, well, if somebody puts a hand in, they smash the lot off the top. How's that? I said, well, before I go up in the tower, I lock the top. I don't, but I won't do it.
Not a doubt.
No, well, obviously, I've only two.
Yes, yeah.
One knows the job, and the other one knows nearly all the job. But I've been up here since 89, earlier on this year, and then we got killed. Purely simply I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And if it had been this young gentleman here, because he's not like most of us, vertically challenged, he's a bit taller than us, he'd be 6'1", 6'2". 6'1". We've got this hedge fencing up there, and that the trail light you can see when we go back through, the one at each end, that swung across. I felt the trap come over the top of my head. I'll not tell you what I said. But I was very thankful that I was 5'7". Because when I came around, it hit the terrace fencing, knocked it over, and put a great big dent in it. I thought, if that had been the back of my head, I wouldn't have survived. You open the handle up. The number corresponds with these big lumps in the pipework. As a spool in there. Big top, chamfer to make the valve, then a small bottom. So the water comes in. If you've got the pressure on the top, then there are enough square inches on the bottom to lift it up the way. Take the pressure off the top, it pushes it out the way, and the water comes through. Right. Last bit of boredom. This is very similar to what we've got upstairs, only the one upstairs is operated by levers, no rotation other than the upstairs. Throttle valve to here, one shaft, and that's your directional control valve. Yeah? So you turn the handle, the throttle valve's always got a lift. So throttle valve's up, directional control valve's up. Don't ask us which way we're going, because this one, never used, it would only be for maintenance, because what are you going to do? Who's on the bridge now? No idea. Plus you've got to be up in the tower to do the wedges and the rounds. So it could only be for maintenance. And we prefer to use the stick. Right, so we're there, we're at neutral. Go the other way. One shaft. Directional control valves down here. Throttle valve still lifted. And yes, we can see it's dead easy because I've got this clever young lad who's what to make it happen. Piece of cake that. Right. Yes, we can see you could put a rocker arm on it, 2 cheap plates, and it always lifts. But will you see him tomorrow morning? Well, I don't know if you're married or not. I mean, I didn't want to imply that. You know, what I was going to say was, all right, I'll use the married couple. Tomorrow morning, get him to draw a picture there on the back of an envelope.
Right.
Because what you've got to remember is, Armstrong was a solicitor, not an engineer, not by training anyway. I'm an engineer by training, but I was never an engineer by birth. He invented this. He was an engineer by birth. He had a brilliant engineer in mind. But it's a case of, yes, it's simple today.
In those days.
But when you haven't got something like that to play with, you've got to just pluck it out the air. You know, it's not like this young chap now, he goes back home and he said, it's easy, CAD. I don't know if they do CAD or not, I don't know what it is, I've just heard about it. Was it computer-aided design or something? Yeah. I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, I can switch it on, I can switch it off.
What's
the grandman does the rest. But, you know, just the stuff that he deals with, you know, bending these pipes.
And yet it gets me so cross because all the Southerners think we're so thick stood up here. When you think of Armstrong and Swan and...
Do you mind killing
you know,